My name is Dustin Ward. I reside at 34 Rosewood in Pekin, Illinois. I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to speak at tonight's council. I started in the Peoria area EMS system September of 2005. I had the pleasure of working at Limestone Fire Department as a first responder and EMT basic under the direction of deceased Chief Douglas Brignall. Chief Brignall pushed me into becoming the paramedic I am today. In October 2006, I was hired at Advanced Medical Transport. I had the opportunity to continue my education, become a paramedic, and later a critical care paramedic. I'm here tonight because I have family and friends who reside within the district Engine 19 serves. I read the article when CEO Andrew Rand stated that having too many paramedics can actually degrade services, as there simply isn't enough work to keep everyone proficient. I have to say that can't be farther from the truth. I have remained silent and agreed with the status quo for many years because I have feared my employment would become jeopardized working at AMT. I was shocked to learn that Dr. Jackson agreed with Mr. Rand and truly believed that more paramedics will degrade patient care. If the fear that paramedic skills will be degraded, then perhaps training should be offered more from the Peoria area EMS system. Being a paramedic is much the same as being a doctor, except we don't always have the luxury to call 2 to 3 orders out and have RNs respond to our very needs. Dr. Jackson knows this best because he was an EMT prior to being a medical director. St. Francis doesn't have just one doc at the emergency room. Ultimately, when a doc obtains patient care, they are responsible for that patient. Many times when a doc is unsure about differential diagnosis, they oftentimes ask other doctors. This is the same in the pre-hospital setting. Being a paramedic isn't about intubations, IVs, med pushes. It's about knowledge and facilitating. It's about helping others achieve the best possible outcome for the patient. Every EMS call that the Peoria Fire Department responds on has the potential to be the sole EMS provider for as high as 8 minutes. This can be the same for AMT employees as well, since fire department engines can be on other EMS calls or fires. I have sat in my rig so many times in Bartonville because I was the only available ambulance in the Peoria and Pekin market. I have left my family in the middle of the night to respond in AMT's quick response vehicle because I was the only paramedic available. AMT makes time compliance of 92% of the time. So what are you going to do with the other 8%? Would you want a firefighter who took a 120-hour crash course and can deliver 8 drugs, or would you want a firefighter who has 1,200 hours of training and carries 22 drugs? What if you were choking and a bystander tried the Heimlich maneuver? What if it was unsuccessful? If you went unconscious, you would be lowered to the floor. As Engine 19 stands now, they would start CPR. If they were ALS, not only would they start CPR, but they would also have Miguel forceps to clear your airway. This is a true scenario that I was able to participate on in their district. What if you slipped and fell and broke your hip? Would you want a basic to tell you that help is coming? Or would you want a paramedic to ease the pain while you wait for transport? What if you're a diabetic and your blood sugar dropped? Would you want glucagon, which can take up to 18 minutes to use or to work? Or would you like a paramedic to drop a line and give you dextrose and be out of a coma in under 3 to 4 minutes? What if you are a paramedic and responded to a child in seizure? When you reach the child, you are only able to assist ventilations for 19 minutes. The drug Versed, which is carried on the ALS rig, came from the Charlie area. That's Peoria Heights. I was the paramedic with only BLS equipment. I was pretty close to Engine 4 when I was on Limestone Fire Department for that direct call, and that child ended up with neurological defects. It was many years ago, but it's something I'm still, to this day, have to carry on my shoulder. Right now, we have 6 paramedics in the room, 4 of which are fire department paramedics. We're no good if we don't have any equipment. We can tell you something's wrong, but without having anything, we can't do anything other than tell you there's a problem, and you know that already. In closing, I'd like to point out that the Peoria Area EMS protocol state the mission of the Peoria Area EMS system is to deliver the highest quality health care that can be achieved with available resources. I hope that Dr. Jackson changes his views and does the right thing for the residents in the 19th District. As one paramedic once taught me long ago, the hardest thing is doing what's right when no one's looking. I do have some other information, as I did listen to Dr. Jackson's presentation tonight. That is correct, what he said. AMT has had 2 quick response vehicles since 1992. One of the quick response vehicles was for the daytime supervisor, and one was for the night shift supervisors. Those sat stagnant and only were used for on-call vehicles until Peoria Fire pushed for ALS. So there is some truth that was part of the ALS plan for AMT, but they weren't utilized until Peoria Fire started to make a push for ALS. The BLS bubble that Dr. Jackson described, if you're 2 to 3, 4 minutes to the hospital, you just BLS it. I can't believe that he even made that comment. When we go to the hospital with a patient, we don't know what the hospital is dealing with. They might have 60 in triage. They might have 2 traumas. We don't know what we're dealing with when we get there. You got to do everything you can for that patient. You never know how long they're still going to be on the cot even when you're at the hospital. So, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Mr. Sierra.